Trailhand Bill, hold the hell up, man. I gotta see where we at. Give me a second. I apologize. I don't lie to y'all. At least I keep it real. We're in Nebraska, man. All right, so strangely, that makes me feel slightly better. I want to tell y'all a story about my day, man, but y'all don't have time for that, and neither do I. I'm just letting y'all know. Y'all might get part of that damn story in this video. Let's see what this lady talking about. I just seen 2021 on the screen. What the hell? Trailhand Bill reporting live from South Florida.
Federal lawsuit has been filed against the city of Omaha. It alleges police unlawfully arrested a woman who tried to stop them from entering her home without a search warrant.
Bruh, how many times we gonna hear this same damn story, man? These folks don't know the law yet. They the police, bro. What?
The heated incident caught on video by a neighbor. Mike McKnight has our 6 on Your Side investigation.
Yes, it was a work day.
Working from home 3 years ago, LaWanda Valentine Williams went to the porch after police responded to a domestic dispute that her son and his girlfriend had outside. But when LaWanda wanted inside, a federal lawsuit alleges an officer stood in the way.
There was an officer standing right here blocking my door, and she grabbed my arms to stop me from getting into my home.
LaWanda speculates police wanted to search her home for a gun because her son had been there, but she demanded to see a search warrant.
Show it to me! Show it to me!
A neighbor's video is evidence in a lawsuit filed by attorney Jason Bruno, who alleges police falsely represented they had a search warrant, but he says they didn't.
They obviously didn't have a warrant, which is why they asked her for consent to search the house. She said no. So instead, they handcuffed her. They dragged her off the porch onto the lawn.
The neighbor's video shows the 54-year-old woman cuffed and refusing to go quietly into a cruiser. But the lawsuit alleges police didn't take her to booking right away. The officer drove to this church parking lot about a block and a half away from the Williams home. And it's alleged that LaWanda sat in the back for an hour and a half in handcuffs.
I was scared to death. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. So I was just confused.
Eventually taking her to corrections on charges of obstruction of justice and resisting arrest.
Telling officers that they can't search your home because you don't have a warrant is not obstructing justice or anything inappropriate or unlawful.
Gene Williams says his wife did nothing wrong.
I believe in the law system and everything, but if you can't produce a warrant or anything, I don't feel comfortable.
The filed response to the lawsuit says the city at all times acted in good faith to comply with all laws, with reasonable grounds to believe its actions did not violate constitutional rights. As for the arrest, if any force was used against the plaintiff, it was minimal and justified. The lawsuit by LaWanda Valentine Williams alleges no justification for police action that day.
They have a job to do, and so do I, and that's to protect my rights.
The lawsuit states that 4 months after her arrest, the prosecutor dismissed all charges. On Your Side near 40th and Pratt, Mike McKnight, 6 News.
The Omaha City attorney declined an on-camera interview due to the pending lawsuit. He did send Mike an email stating that the facts and law will support the city's defense to the claims raised in the federal lawsuit. The plaintiff is seeking monetary damages from the city.
Man, so much I want to say about this. Let me say this though, man, because I'm sorry, that's part of it. I'm noticing that my voice sounds more and more like gravelly or nasally or whatever, guys. Excuse me. It's not because of some type of weird thing I'm trying to do. I actually just switched sinus medications, and I think the new one either just hasn't taken effect yet, or it may not be the one for me, and I got to go back. I want to say that because, you know, shit kind of irritates me when I've been listening to it on some of my videos. My weird takeaway here, guys, is that at the end when the Johnny say the facts and the laws will support their version, or however they put that, I agree. I agree that the facts that they pull from that situation will lawfully line up with what the penal code say they're allowed to do. I listen, man, I think that's one time when these motherfuckers did not lie. I mean, that's what happens when you can lawfully and unlawfully pervert the truth, when you can always move the goalposts. So the other problem we're gonna have tonight, guys, is not just with my sinus medication, man. Ain't no way in hell like this is the video I should have chose when I've been drinking whiskey and I do have a coronita. I don't even know what these things are called. I'm just too relaxed tonight, and I just want to snap in two. And I'm not gonna snap it too. I'm gonna give y'all my unadulterated opinion. Shout out Mr. Gene, the husband here. I have some strong opinions about his initial response, but I don't know this man enough to delve into a couple of seconds worth of him giving his, thoughts on the situation. I don't know well enough to dive deeply into what he said, man. I do applaud him for getting on camera and saying, man, I'm with my wife. No matter how he said it, that's what he said. He said, I don't feel comfortable, motherfucker. So maybe he didn't say it in my lingo, but that's what he said. So let me get to this woman. I was very recently, guys, I told you I had to take a trip to Atlanta for personal reasons. And while I was there, I was explaining my sister and her aunt were having a conversation, and they pulled me into it. They asked me, I'll be frank, they asked me about, what is it? Toxic masculinity and things like that. And I was like, man, y'all do not, come on, man, don't do this. Don't do this. But I endorsed them. And the conversation veered off a little bit into, the things that women deal with in life. And I eventually told him, I said, well, while I acknowledge a lot of those things, I said at a point when all you're doing is continuing to talk about it, it sounds like whining. I mean, everybody's dealing with life. You have to respond. And if your response is just continue to talk about what you're dealing with, is going to, even if that's not what it is, at a point, it's going to be misperceived as whining. So respond to it. And I'm bringing that up here to say, that's what this lady did. She ain't got no time for no motherfucking whining. We heard it. They cut the camera. They said to her, you about to go to jail for obstruction. She said, man, I don't get no fuck about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, and then at the end, I love it when she said, they got a job to do and I have a job to do as well, which is stand up for my rights. So ain't no whining here, man. She didn't throw out the woman card. She didn't throw out any card. She didn't throw out the black card. She didn't throw out none of that. She said, yo, man, I'm human, big dog, and this ain't how we rocking. And because y'all did rock like that, then I see y'all in court. We're going to fight them until the, and then the Johnny, like I said again, the Johnnies didn't lie when they said all the rules on the books will vouch for them. And if not, then they just going to flip them. Like I said, they always moving the goalposts, and that's why we need more Americans like this. She didn't put any special interest or even any specific connotations on it. She said, I have a job to do. And so I think that is her job as an American. And I think that's all of our jobs as Americans. And whether you just want to handle it like she did, whether you want to knock that lady off of your porch and out of your way, and I mean that very literally, when she puts her hand on you trying to stop you from going into your home, whether you want to exercise your First Amendment right, your Second Amendment weapon rights, you know what I mean, to remove these Johnnies from. However, you listen, family, I'm not a fan of just diminishing or extinguishing human life just because opportunities present themselves. I'm just telling you, these motherfuckers will shoot you come on, we know I'm not telling no joke when I say that, bro. I ain't even got to finish it. They will murder you because you ride in the car with your girlfriend, and you rest in peace, Philando Castile, big dog. I'm not playing these games. They will come to your motherfucking house, the wrong house. Once again, probably the best thing about this story is they ain't killed no damn body because they did it to a lot of Americans in the wrong motherfucking house. Ain't the last one of them videos I covered, the dude was in the lady house and he telling her, I own your house because he done broke in? That's the part of me I'm like, come on, man, you can't let me watch no shit like this. And I've been drinking this damn whiskey and I'm, I know for real, man, if we can, that ain't no motherfucking term, but since it's out there, Coronita, y'all ass laughing at me, but I'm not a drinker, so this is a little bit too much for me to be watching shit like this. Because I feel like I feel about this when I'm not on this kind of stuff. How the hell you think I feel? Why you done lost your damn mind? So now you come to my mama house, right? That's my mama, my wife, my sister, dragging her off the porch, taking her somewhere and kidnapping her for damn near 2 hours. Listen, family, I speak English, motherfucker. You ain't got to tell me you declare war. Right now, I'm not old, and I'm not trying to let me say something. Right now, all of my faculties work well enough that you ain't got to go out of your way to tell me that you declare war. I'm going to leave that there. Again, this was an absurd an outlandish situation that nobody, you ain't just got to be American here. Again, she didn't put any distinguishing connotations on it, so I won't either. Besides just being a human being, man, you have a job. It is your job to make sure that you stand for your rights as a human being, because when you don't, it just further feeds into the narrative that they can treat other people in inhumane ways. And let me say this, praise God, I didn't forget before I get out of here, man. Shout out to the neighbor, bro. I got your 6. I told y'all, when I get my mind right and get responsible, I'm going to come out with some merch for the little 2 people who watch my videos every time they come out, no matter what. Shout out to y'all. There's probably a little bit more than 2. But yeah, in one of those shirts or whatever the merch be, Lord willing, going to say I got your 6, because this ain't just about me. When I see American engaged with these Johnny's motherfucker, if I don't do nothing else, I'm recording. And I'm not being unappreciative of God's creation in human life, and I'm not being overzealous and arrogant when I say this, man. Johnny's and Johnny supporters, y'all better pray that these motherfuckers only run into Americans who gonna record when this type of shit happen, family. Because everybody ain't just finna. I think tonight might be Wednesday, man. It's so beautiful out here, man. Enjoy it wherever you're at. God is very gracious to give us moments like this. I'm trying, Bill. Y'all be good.
A federal lawsuit has been filed against the city of Omaha. It alleges police unlawfully arrested a woman who tried to stop them from entering her home without a search warrant. The heated incident caught on video by a neighbor. Mike McKnight has our 6 on Your Side investigation.
Yes, it was a work day.
Working from home 3 years ago, LaWanda Valentine Williams went to the porch after police responded to a domestic dispute that her son and his girlfriend had outside. But when LaWanda wanted inside, a federal lawsuit alleges an officer stood in the way.
There was an officer standing right here blocking my door, and she grabbed my arms to stop me from getting into my home.
LaWanda speculates police wanted to search her home for a gun because her son had been there, but she demanded to see a search warrant.
Show it to me! Show it to me!
A neighbor's video is evidence in a lawsuit filed by attorney Jason Bruno, who alleges police falsely represented they had a search warrant, but he says they didn't.
They obviously didn't have a warrant, which is why they asked her for consent to search the house. She said no. So instead, they handcuffed her. They dragged her off the porch onto the lawn.
The neighbor's video shows the 54-year-old woman cuffed and refusing to go quietly into a cruiser. But the lawsuit alleges police didn't take her to booking right away. The officer drove to this church parking lot about a block and a half away from the Williams home. And it's alleged that LaWanda sat in the back for an hour and a half in handcuffs.
I was scared to death. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. So I was just confused.
Eventually taking her to corrections on charges of obstruction of justice and resisting arrest.
Telling officers that they can't search your home because you don't have a warrant is not obstructing justice or anything inappropriate or unlawful.
Gene Williams says his wife did nothing wrong.
I believe in the law system and everything, but if you can't produce a warrant or anything, I don't feel comfortable.
The filed response to the lawsuit says,
we don't give a damn. I'm going to keep it real. Gene, a few people going to get on your ass about how you responded to that, but once again, I'm going to give you grace because I don't know you well enough to really get on your ass like I was going to about 2 or 3 second clip. So other than that, folk, the takeaway that I forgot to take away, no, you're damn right, man. She ain't do nothing wrong by asking no folk, because they going to lie to you. See, they had a warrant, but they ass ain't had no warrant. They would have got some of us, man. We need to get a little bit more her in our spirit, Americans. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.